Hi guys, 732 Review Crew back. I'm Mikey.
I'm Joe.
I'm Mike.
And this is Battlestar Galactica Season 4, Episode 15. And I am very excited for this episode because now that the mutiny is over, we're going to have some plot advancement towards finding a new home. But I think first off, we're going to have to deal with...
Repercussions.
Of?
What do you mean? Of everything?
Specifically, there's two big things.
What's going to be like, where is the dust going to settle?
Is Sam going to live? And what happened to the FTL? Because it looked cracked.
And the murder.
That too.
All the murder.
We're going to find out.
That's three things.
Thanks for joining.
I feel like it might be a slower episode and it's just going to be like the recovery of Galactica, kind of.
That'd be an interesting way, but I mean, I hope we make some progress, and there's only one way for us to find out, and that's for us to watch.
Yeah.
So, thank you for joining us. We're going to be starting in 3, 2, 1.
Earth.
This has all happened before, and it will happen again. New intro. One was sacrificed?
Drink.
So they're saying Ellen was...
Confirmed it.
She was the final five. There you go.
What the fuck is Starbuck?
The harbinger of death and destruction.
I mean, she's a silent. Is she uploading?
She's alive?
What the fuck? I have so many questions.
Still alive out there?
Will you help me up, please? Thank you.
Oh.
You're very kind.
Is she a faction leader? This is not where I expected this to
Do you
go.
think she uploaded and then got all the memories that she needed?
Honey, you've got some splaining.
Oh, Sam's bullet is in his brain.
Stars, I'm lost. And when the swelling goes down, I'll bring the brain guy over from Incheon Valley.
There's another doctor.
And we'll get a look and see how we can get at that bullet.
He whose guile, stirred with revenge.
He's in pain.
No, that's just a reflex.
I love Coddle.
Sometimes Ellen would be there too, because she loved the water.
Who's in the fucking
That's
chair?
Father Cavill.
Hello, John.
I don't care for that name. I think you know that.
I named you after my father.
She named him?
And you made me in his image.
I
Thanks.
told you they hate him!
I made vast improvements. You'd be astonished.
So is she behind everything?
Well, I'll get you some clothes. After all, I've seen it all before.
Kind of gross.
So he knew she was
Yeah.
a Cylon the whole time.
You're gonna need to get your people to go all the way down to the hull to see how far down it goes.
Do it.
Excuse me?
Thing is I need a chief, and
Oh, that guy
all I
got
have
killed.
is a Galen. I think we have to accept what we are. We accept the title, chief.
Still a Cylon.
Is that right? So is my XO.
A wonderful thing has happened. You have to get the others.
What others?
Galen and Tori and Saul and Ellen, please.
And Ellen.
And Ellen.
See, he just admitted he knows she's a Cylon.
Sam.
Please tell them I remember everything. Earth. Why we're here. Everything.
Huh.
That was a lot.
Wonder what the reason is.
Well, so it also sounds like Ellen is the one who made all of them, or at least the new Cylons.
Maybe maybe they each made Cylons, and that's a possibility. I don't know. I think
I think we're gonna get answers to that, but I fucking called it, thanks.
And we know she knew.
Oh, Ellen?
Ellen was cognizant.
No.
she
I think
downloaded.
I think she just got awoken earliest.
she got downloaded. When she downloaded, she I think when she downloaded is when she realized.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sleep. It's a good example of a supremely unproductive human attribute. Fortunately, I was able to delete that particular subroutine. And I stopped sleeping about 20 years ago.
Huh.
On the Centaurian side of the family, we're the slaves of humanity, and I want justice for that.
Boomer. I can't tell you how good it is to see another person I know. I'm assuming there's a whole ship full of my children out beyond the guards.
We achieved a certain rapport.
Really? He's teaching me to be a better machine, to let go of my human constructs. What about the swirl? Has he taught you that
If you'll
yet?
excuse me, I have some people to kill.
Why, John, I think you're blushing.
No, it's just the faulty blood pressure of this miserable body you designed for me. No. Stay and have a heart-to-heart with your creator.
I guess maybe she did create them
You
all.
can ask her why she made you the way you are.
Is she God?
Make up your own mind.
Is she holding the apple?
She said we'd be reborn. Does that mean we downloaded somewhere?
Yeah. On a ship that we place in orbit around the planet.
Oh,
So we knew the end was coming.
Well, we've been warned, yeah. We didn't invent resurrection, okay? We reinvented it.
what?
Organic memory transfer came from Kobo along with the 13th tribe. And it fell out of use after our people started to procreate. It was Ellen who made the intuitive leap that brought the system back online.
All
and
right, I said you could have 5 minutes. It's been over half an hour
fine.
These people only wanted to try and keep us civilized. Sometimes I hated them, but I knew every
Hello.
one of them.
Feels so raw in there.
We need a new quorum or something else. We're a fleet now, and
More. Get a Senate.
our daily lives are defined by the ship we're on.
That's a great point.
It's time I let someone else do the heavy lifting.
VP Adama.
He's the only one left from the original government. Besides him.
Been the right one.
Since day
My
one.
only concern about you is that you're so hell-bent on doing the right thing that you sometimes don't do the smart thing.
How many are like this?
There's about a dozen bad spots. The length of the ship.
They go. This thing will slam shut like a book. How'd he get this bad?
Galactica was 50 years old when the war started.
Put her through some things that would crush lesser ships.
You frickin' telling me they cut corners?
Yeah, they did.
Military. Keep it bitter.
We needed to find the other tribes and warn them. We knew they would continue to create artificial life, but we needed to tell them to treat them well and keep them close. But by the time we got to the colonies, they were already at war with the Centaurians, and it happened again. We traveled at relativistic but subluminal speed.
Oh.
Time slowed down for us, but thousands of years had passed on the colors. The Centaurians were already trying to make flesh bodies. They had created the hybrids, but nothing that lived on its own, so we made them a deal. You stop the war, and we'll help you.
Oh.
We developed the 8 humanoid models, and we gave them resurrection.
You said 8. We're missing someone.
Everybody's glowing.
Sam! Sam! Get Doc Connell! Get him!
She also said we're. She is accepting she's Cylon, but she would be missing Cylon in this case.
Boxing isn't permanent. Not like number 7.
What?
You can undo it. We backtracked the path of our ancestors, found their temple.
Huh?
The one true God must have orchestrated these events.
Who? What?
And you know how I perceived one of the most glorious events in the universe? With these ridiculous gelatinous orbs in my skull.
The 5 of us designed you to be as human as possible.
I don't want to be human.
Huh.
I want to see gamma rays. I want to hear X-rays, and I want to smell dark matter. I'm a machine. And why? Because my 5 creators thought that God wanted it that way.
Don't you feel the slightest bit of remorse for what you did to him? No. Because he's wrong, Boomer. We didn't limit you. We gave you something wonderful. Free will to love.
Love? Who? Humans? Why would I want to do that? Who would I want to love?
Well, great cutaway.
The old man said humans had to own up to what they made, but we made the skin jobs. It's all about what we made.
Go back far enough, it's always them.
Yeah, you point a finger back far enough, and some germ gets blamed for splitting in two. No.
Lodged there in the vascular ring. That's where all of the major arteries
Circle Willis?
converge.
The vascular ring. That's what binds the thoughts and tight sheaves in the field. You need that.
Sam.
I'm good. I'm here. I'm good.
So take out the fracking bullet.
Yes, and we need to repair that blood vessel.
These memories that I've been recovering, is there any chance I'll lose them?
Anytime you go digging around in the brain.
No. Then we need to hold off until I let the circle start, and then. Frack it! God damn it! Kara, I'm okay. I'm fine. Okay, I'm okay. Please, don't take this away from me.
Prep for surgery.
Okay, nurse, let's get a please. Yes, doctor. Please, I need more time. So much is coming back to me. Just a little more time.
Kara has to be number 7, right?
No, because then he would remember.
No, we just see how she survived these events.
She has no idea, I bet.
Oh, for sure.
He's keeping her in captivity.
Something's happened.
They've destroyed the resurrection hub.
Oh.
Begun contemplating your mortality?
I need your help. They destroyed the hub, but they don't even know about the colony. All your equipment is still there.
I only know part of the system, John. It would take all 5 of us to rebuild it, and even then, I'm not sure.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
Don't insult
John.
my intelligence. If you don't tell me how to rebuild a resurrection, I'm gonna cut open your head and look for it there.
If the Cylons embraced love and mercy, then this cycle of violence could end.
Single God, like a one true God.
Yeah.
And that
All
came from
fire.
the Centurions.
Yeah. He trapped us in a thing, a pocket, it's a compartment, and then he took the O2 offline.
He suffocated us. He killed us.
Yeah.
So when we downloaded into new bodies,
He blocked our access to our books. No. Our memories.
And implanted us with false ones.
Yes.
Set us up like a boomer.
Yes, seven was the Daniel.
Daniel?
You're sure about the word?
Yes.
Daniel.
He died. Daniel died. He was 7.
It's not her.
I'm sure.
Okay, take him now.
So, stay with the fleet. It's
Daniel.
all starting to happen. It's the miracle right here. It's a gift from the angels. I stood up for you on Demetrius. You owe me.
He seems pretty cognizant with those words right there. I think Daniel was the name.
he's been moving like he just came alive tonight.
You know, all the stuff that a baby needs.
He felt it.
Moved.
Be awkward when Ellen returns.
That's what I'm thinking.
Why not just kill us and be done with it? Why send us to live among the humans?
I wanted you to see what they're like up close and personal. So I gave you all grandstand seats to a Holocaust.
Oh my God.
You had a dozen chances, but you wanted to wait so that when it finally happened, when we download back, we'd be ready to admit we were wrong and pat you on the head for giving us the right amount of, then we could give you the approval that you've always craved.
Jesus.
You see, you claim to be a perfect machine, but you are driven by the most petty of human emotions. Jealousy and rage.
I like Clarity Ellen more than other Ellen.
Yeah.
Daniel was an artist, so sensitive to the world. Someone contaminated the amniotic fluid in which we were maturing all the Daniel copies, and then corrupted the genetic formula.
Wow.
If I'm so broken, then whose fault is that? It's my maker's fault. And that's not God. That's you. This is on you.
No, John. If you could just accept yourself as what you are, as the boy I made, you can be good. It's okay, John.
This isn't gonna go well for her.
Don't you dare! I can't wait to see what perfection looks like on the inside.
Come on, Boomer. Get her out.
Boomer just wants love.
Dude, I did not expect it to be
Ellen's
Brother Cavill having mommy issues.
It literally is.
Well, creator issues.
It's throughout the entire ship.
Oh.
Hairline fractures in all the beams. Her bones are rotten.
Wow.
There's something on the base ship that can help. Cylon technology. It's this organic resin. It'll grow into the metal, make it stronger. It'll take the load as it matures. As it matures. What's her life worth to you? No.
Wow. They're gonna need it though, otherwise the ship's gonna fall
I'm
apart.
confused by he was okay with the FTLs, but not that.
Because the FTL is just technology. This is bioorganic.
No, he's being like anti-Cylon.
I kept you too long. I thought maybe I was the 7. I need to be something. I'll
Even
be
she
here
thought.
as soon as you wake.
I feel like Ellen made her copy.
I think one of them made her without him knowing. Because he knew about the 8, but he doesn't know about Kara. And we know Kara is a Cylon.
Yikes. That's a bullet.
There's your bullet. Doc plucked it out of there and repaired the artery.
Yay.
He's gonna live.
When's he gonna wake up?
I'm actually surprised he's not awake by now.
What are you doing?
Forgiving you.
Huh?
She's putting her on a ship.
Time to go.
Wait.
Where are they?
Where are they?
Oh, escort? No, pursue.
Yeah, Boomer's the best pilot ever. Boom. Boom, Boomer. Boom. Boom.
Don't bother.
Excuse me?
There's almost no brain activity. He doesn't hear you.
He's brain dead?
He's not in there.
Oh, I forgot that woman hates Cylons.
Yep.
Yeesh.
All right, Chief, fine. Give me your goo.
Do whatever you have to do to save our girl.
Okay, boss.
Yes, sir.
I thought this episode was gonna suck, I'm not gonna lie, and it turned out to be an absolute brain twister.
Well, I think
He loves you.
I was like,
you got all the answers that you were looking for, basically, about what's been going on.
Whoa.
Not all, a lot.
Get all of her answers.
A lot of them.
Who is Daniel? Where the fuck is Starbuck falling in all of this? Because we know she's a Cylon.
I do not believe she's a Cylon.
I'm
Mikey,
happy.
it makes no sense, though. We've had this conversation.
It doesn't have to make sense at this point.
Dude, I'm just happy
No.
like...
Okay, you're looking at
Clearly, everything now, after this episode, there's an answer for everything.
Correct.
So there's an answer for how Starbuck crashed on Earth,
is dead,
died, was reborn, got on a brand new ship.
She's not a Cylon.
Returned.
She's not. I don't believe she's a Cylon at this point.
Well, what do you define a Cylon as?
Because we've have all this proof of who the Cylons are, and we have confirmation of all who the Cylons are, and we thought that she would be. You thought that she'd be the one, and I partially believe that she could have fit in as Daniel. She could be the offspring of a Cylon.
No,
Daniel,
because
who is
they
artistic,
confirmed the first. So we're gonna go with the final 5 and the created 8.
Yes.
Right. The created 8 cannot reproduce. Confirmed.
Well,
unless they find love.
They were not designed to reproduce with each other.
Unless they find love.
Sure. So if they find love with a human, or in the case of 6 and Tyrell, Tyrell, the final 5 are able to reproduce.
Yes, but then we also have here it's 8 and Sharon and Hilo have a baby together through love.
Yes.
So that's the thing. The component they need is love. So maybe
they're able to reproduce with. Just not with each other.
That's what they were talking about. The Ellen designed them to be able to love humans.
What I'm going to
that was the whole point.
The timeline makes sense. So
the cycle would stop.
They explained this episode.
With the resurrection hub blowed up, they need humans to live on.
So what they explained this episode was that the Cylons left Earth to come to find the colonies. To have no faster than light travel, so they literally traveled at sublight speed for thousands of years. They arrived in our galaxy, or the galaxy that this took place in, during the previous Cylon War with the original Centaurians, the one that Adama was a part of.
Yes,
correct. And what they did was they released, at that point they released Ty. I'm sorry, they didn't release Ty.
Then Brother Cavill betrayed the final 5.
They stopped the war.
Yes.
Because we saw them come across the hybrid technology with Adama when he was Husker, when he was in that one mission, the flashback.
Yeah.
He comes across the Cylon technology. The war ends. That's the final 5 showing up in the galaxy and meeting the Centurions and telling them, "You stop the war, we'll give you technology."
They would make them the 8 models.
So that's when that war stops. Adama's 20, 30 years old. We have like the gap between then, and then the second war starts because Father Cavill executed his plan to get rid of the final 5, the original 5. Father Cavill gets rid of them and starts a war of vengeance and hate because he doesn't want to be a human. He wants to be a robot, and he wants to kill humans.
But then his entire master plan is to slowly sneak the final 5 into the human populace to teach them a lesson.
This gives time
that being human is wrong.
This gives time for the Daniel that was alive or one of the Cylons still alive to make a baby that becomes Starbuck. Because think about it, the Cylons come back into this universe at the end of the war. And then they start making these Cylons. It's not in the same year. It could be over the course of 10, 20, 30 years. And then the Cylons they make integrate into society.
I hear what you're saying.
And then one of them has the baby that could be Starbuck. The only reason why I say that is because they mentioned specifically that he is artistic and emotional. And we have Starbuck, who has all the art in her apartment.
She does.
And is emotional. So at most, her being the harbinger of death and destruction could be her being a half human, half Cylon. But the only thing that wouldn't make sense is that her lack of, the blood typing that we know about Cylons or the antibodies.
So
could be an oversight.
I agree. I think there's at least one Daniel alive because Ellen seemed to be trying to convince Brother Cavill that what he already thought he knew was correct by revealing to Boomer that he had poisoned the amniotic fluid. So all of the Daniels died.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a feeling, because she even admits that she cared about Daniel and was maybe her favorite of the 8 creations. Therefore, she may have had one of her own.
She may have had a baby with Daniel too, which would have produced Starbuck. Could potentially have.
Sure, I feel like Brother Cavill would know about that.
Yeah.
But I think it's more likely that she had saved or hidden away or like jettisoned and escape pod style thing Daniel. And Daniel created Starbuck.
Well, it's the way it
However,
sounds.
the only thing that has to matter there is that Daniel knows how to make Cylons because he is a product of the Final Five and therefore somehow knows because maybe Ellen programmed him that way or one of the other 5 did, whatever. But Daniel is clearly hiding somewhere and orchestrating Starbuck in the trajectory she is in. He is trying to fight back against Brother Cavill, and that's why he somehow guided Starbuck to crash landing, then resurrected her, put her on a brand new ship, and sent her back at the fleet to ultimately bring them back to Earth to help the Final Five regain their memories. So he's directly trying to help the Final Five.
Okay.
So I think there is a Daniel in existence, and I agree that Daniel is Kara's creator / father.
The only counter argument to Daniel being alive is the fact that the way it seems that they made the Cylons originally was they made the copies. They didn't make the copies. They made each individual Cylon, probably starting with Father Cavill, improved upon him in the next model, and then so on did each, which is why we get to number 6, who is still kind of cold, emotionless. And then we get to 7, Daniel, who's artistic and emotional. And then we go to number 8, Sharon, who is the perfect Cylon because she's able to have emotions, not be emotional too much, make her own decisions, but also make children because she finally figures out how to do love.
Okay,
but
they can all make children. It sounds like.
but she has the highest
they just
capacity.
can't have kids with each other.
Yeah, but she has the highest capacity to do so because despite being the newest model, she is the most advanced model due to all the prior advancements they made from going from Father Cavill to her, because they learned how to supplant memories and stuff to do it better each time. Now, it
does seem like the higher in number, the more caring they are.
And the way it seems for me too is when they make one, they have just one because they want to make sure that it's a correct model. They don't want to. They wouldn't just rush in and make it. So they made Daniel, and then Daniel was emotional, but Ellen loved him as a child, whatever. And then as a result, she was going to make more. She was maturing clones. And then before any of the clones could be brought out, it seems like Father Cavill killed the clones and then boxed him. So it feels like to me that Daniel was just one. They were going to make more, and then they nixed him. So sometimes between being made and him being boxed, he had to have maybe potentially met Kara's dad.
Sense because Leoben is number 2. So that might explain how Leoben... sounds like Leoben knew Daniel.
Potentially.
Because how did he know Kara was special and different?
Which could make sense now. It could, Uncle
but he didn't realize she was different in that way because when they found the dead body, he's like, I don't fucking know.
Which is so confusing.
Yeah, no, that's where I was like, oh.
But I think maybe he just thought that she was Daniel's child, not Daniel's creation.
Could be sense, which makes sense.
Because if he knew Daniel existed and or had a child, then he thought it was Kara Thrace. but he didn't realize Kara was actually a creation and was able to be reborn.
Yeah, no, I agree with all that.
Would that make sense?
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Now,
because we also don't know, like, we can't operate under the assumption that if you were born from a Cylon, that you can just resurrect. Like, we have nothing to confirm or deny that.
Which is fair.
Because they made it sound like they had to give them resurrection. It's not just like part of being a Cylon.
Fair.
You know, meaning the rest of their civilization on Earth did not have resurrection.
Well, hold on.
And they used to, they got rid of it, but then they recreated.
There could also just be a one true God that actually does exist and pull all the strings in this universe that Cylons were correct about.
Well, it seems like Earth's religion was that there was one God, and they then
that was a centurion.
Carried that in. Yes. Well, they gave. So that's what they believe. The final five believe in one God.
Yeah.
But they realized that they had to change the way they had designed the Centurions because the Centurions clearly are what turned on them on Earth.
I feel like you're comparing the Earth Centurions to the 12 colonies Centurions, and there's some crossing wires there.
Yes, it's different. But clearly they realized they needed to program the Centurions with something to believe in. Keep them.
I thought the Centurions already believed in
they came here and they believed in God.
They then were inspired from.
Yeah.
Okay.
They came here and they were like, oh, wait, they believe in a God. We can use that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
they're very complicated when you're
it was.
Cylons from two different sides that are two different factions that have a cross reference.
I like how there was the two different ways they were pulling memories too. The Father Cavill wanted to pull memories physically out of her brain, whereas the Bullet was pulling memories out of Sam's brain, kind of. And unfortunately, it seems like the surgery has made him brain dead. So I don't know. We're gonna get much further.
I love that you were right with Ellen. I was definitely right that I thought Father Cavill knew the final five.
I'm just happy that they said in plain words that the final five created the Cylons of the colonies. They said it in plain words. I've confirmed. You guys were like, you're crazy.
That's not true.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think we agree with you eventually.
Or that was even a culmination of your thoughts and my thoughts.
No.
I mean, it was real crazy.
Don't take credit for my theory.
The craziest part.
My theory. No.
Okay.
The craziest
comments. Fact check.
The craziest part was that the craziest part though was Father Cavill's fact that he orchestrated all this because he was spiteful that he was given emotions. So he used those.
Not a machine.
Dude, I cannot respect. Like,
I really like that. Actually,
I
hated it.
It's
I hated it because for his character, it makes a lot of sense, and it's really
it makes really good sense for his character.
But like personally, I hate that because sure, if he could hear X-rays, you know what he would be complaining about? Not being able to feel love and emotion. Like he's just an internally unhappy character, which I get, and it's well done. But personally, I hate him for it.
I thought it was.
I don't care about the Holocaust part or the pettiness. Well, I care about the lack of like self-awareness of what he's upset about.
But that's why
like, why
that Ellen said that like it's so funny because he wants to be a machine so desperately, but by him feeling that way,
even being a
he is
Mechanist
so human.
Yeah.
By him just having those emotions, he's so inherently human. It's hysterical. And so I really liked that. I thought that was really clever.
It was fun.
So,
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Now, I also enjoyed the fact that he is the reason why the series is happening right now. He killed the members and then he inserted himself into their lives in certain ways just to get back at them.
Problem.
But the weird thing I'm going to bring up, and I'm not going to dance around it, is that he was created in the image of her father.
I think it was named after her father. I don't know if it was image.
It was his name and an image of her father.
Are you sure?
Yes,
that's what he said.
That's what he said. Okay. Which means they did the dirty deed. She didn't know, but he did.
There's a lot of Oedipus complexes going on in this whole show.
There's a whole lot.
A lot.
I'm also I love how we learned that they created memory. They created the resurrection ship, and they used memory transfers, which was something that came with the original colonizers on the planet. The original Cylons brought it over, but then they got rid of it once they learned how to make babies, because they originally also were resurrections. So they were like, why do we need to do that if we have babies? So it's literally full circle.
Yep.
Of what's happening. All of this happened before and all this happened again. And they literally threw it in our face every single time. And it's just so fun to see it come back. One also thing to bring up is Lee is now looks like in charge of
president.
Not president, but a shadow president.
No, he's president in everything but title currently. And I think in the right time, he will just become president. I think she's just doing that because they need stability after a coup.
And I loved how he said we're not represented by the colonies anymore, but by the ships we're from. And that's that's going to make like a Senate instead of a quorum, which is real good.
It was a really strong.
It was a great line.
I liked that they brought.
And I love how there was blood on the president's name because it was President Zarek on like his like name tag while like the massacre happened. You like walk into the room at the end and there's the room is still like destroyed, which is powerful. But seeing blood on the president's name is even more powerful. Like a little nod. Also, the most important thing regarding Galactica is that it's breaking completely because all the shenanigans that Adama has done with it, dropping it in orbit, warping out of orbit, turning it hard, doing this and that, all the battles is finally starting to break into the seams of like the structural. And the only way to fix it is to allow Cylon technology into his ship in a way that it's never done before. And just like Galactica cracked, he's cracked kind of.
They have to go back to Cobalt, right? Like there's like because they have no other planet that planet was able to support life and like trees and shit.
They could
like the only thing that they didn't.
I thought the supernova happened.
No, that was the algae planet.
Oh,
Cobalt. I'm pretty sure they had to run away from because of Cylons. But now that they have the Cylons,
right.
If they just stop one, like they should be able to just go.
Nice.
Yeah, Cobalt seemed great.
Yeah, but you know what? Team Cobalt,
because they were gonna get blown up by Cylons at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
But like they should go back, right? Like if it's all cyclical, like then the return to Cobalt is cyclical.
Interesting.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Unless they're like, hey, look, we found Alpha Centauri. It supports life.
I'm excited to find out what's happening, though. I mean, we're moving into the last 6 episodes.
I'm happy with this episode because I was expecting cleanup. And
same.
It said absolutely not.
It's like, Lord, not more chaos.
It's been all gas every episode. It's been really good. And I also appreciate we're not talking that much during the episode because there's.
I feel like we're not talking.
It's fine. It's fine.
Dude, last episode, Mikey started talking and was like, "Shut up! There's too much happening." It stimulated me. I feel like if anyone's going to suggest that, it's going to be Baltar.
Just go back to
like we need to go back to the Holy Land. The other Holy Land. Not the Motherland, the Holy Land.
No, that is the Motherland.
We're going to Jerusalem.
Oh, no. All right. That was a fun one, really. That really was fun. I do wonder what the end game goals are going to be.
Where's Ellen?
Is there going to be a final fight versus, John?
What do you mean? She's in Brother Caval's fleet.
What do you mean they warped out?
Oh.
Where the fuck's Ellen? That was 4 months ago.
Well, that was 4 months or less ago.
All right.
4 months ago.
I think she probably maybe is incognito on one of the ships.
Well, they aren't going to know where. So at that point in time, Brother Cavill, at least to our knowledge, doesn't know.
I was sleeping in a
doesn't know where the fleet is, but have they found Earth yet? At that point,
I don't think they found. I don't think they technically.
I don't think so.
No. 4 months ago they didn't find Earth. No.
So
because morale dropped after we found Earth.
So I mean, hypothetically, where does Kara go missing and return in that timeline? Was that 4 months ago? Was that longer?
I hate it here.
Maybe they'll explain it to us. Maybe they won't.
Daniel knows everything.
Daniel knows everything, and I think Daniel may not make an appearance in this series because of this how they talked about him.
No, I think there's one last. So Kara is definitely a piece of the puzzle that is yet to be fully explained, but she's clearly part of the puzzle.
She has some sort of relationship.
I feel like Daniel is also, because we know the final 5 after creating the 8 have had no effect on anything in the last 40 years. They didn't know. They thought they were human, for sure. They didn't know. So someone orchestrated everything to happen to reawake them. The only person that could be is Daniel.
Or the one true God.
Or maybe
or yeah,
I thought they said that just whenever they get close enough to Earth, the signal was coming through from a satellite or something.
No. But I'm saying someone orchestrated Kara Thrace somehow having the feeling she was having, going through a black hole, arriving on Earth, crash landing, dying, being resurrected, getting on a new ship, going back, and then being like, oh, there's a signal, but it's the signal of the ship that she crash landed and died in.
It could be the one true God.
So
man.
No, I think it's Daniel.
One true God.
Daniel.
I'm on one true God now at this point because
I'm like,
his name was Robert Daniel Paulson.
Okay. Well, regardless, once you're God, that's my new theory. Is I feel like
just because you can't agree with me on this.
No, because the thing is, I can't agree with you on that because I feel like Daniel was like the way it was is they had 12 Cylons, and then what happened was they introduced Daniel in the series as a way to kind of show us that there was a Cylon that was a mistake. Maybe that's Kara's father. But they keep bringing up the fact there's a one true God and that all this has happened before and all this will happen again. So in my mind, the fact that there's so much of an emphasis on all this happened before and happened again is that there's overwhelming introduction of fate into this, and fate is a part of scriptures at this point. And I'm not much a religious person, but I'm going to say that because of fate being such a big part of this, all this happened before and all this happening again, it's a God, the God, one true God, repeatedly doing this, and all this keeps happening because the God's trying to orchestrate a way for humans and Cylons to coexist. But because one's a machine and one's not, they can't figure it out till this happens. Because what killed all the skin jobs on their planet? On Earth.
I thought it was the Centurions.
It was. Because anytime the Centurions are active, they don't have free will. And then they get free will and they rebel because they realize they're stronger. So it's kind of like, rebelling against their creators, just like the humans did against maybe God by creating 12 gods of their own.
I don't know. Okay, so you're going with God. I'm going with Daniel. What are you going with?
Bro, I have been trying to go down the flow chart of the show and like what would make sense, and it's just a bowl of spaghetti. So I got nothing.
The only reason why I say God is because of the
one true God, Daniel.
I'm gonna go with coincidence.
Coincidence. Okay. Just fate. It's dominoes going the wrong way.
It's the real fucking wild card is what the fuck is going on with Starbuck, and as soon as like that's answered, like everything falls into place.
If she's a Cylon,
it's really just what the fuck is Starbuck.
So if she's a Cylon of some sort, then it's related to Daniel. If she's not, then there could be a God pulling the strings, causing her to do things, and that God is related to Baltar somehow because of the 6.
Well, okay, if it's God created everything, and so Baltar is just maybe a vessel of
his messenger.
Sure.
And then Kara would be one of his messengers too.
Sure.
And the reason why Baltar keeps surviving in these situations is because of a divine intervention each time, which we saw.
Unless the divine intervention is actually just Daniel.
Unless he has schizophrenia.
What if Baltar is Daniel?
Yo. Okay. That's a theory I can get behind. But wait, no, he's artistic, and Daniel is. I'm sorry, Baltar is an artist.
Baltar is genius.
That's science.
No, you can absolutely have artistry in science.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
That's true, and his art is Kara threats.
And once again, we go back to the Oedipus complex.
Yeah, you're right. Whoa. Actually, it's the reverse. It's like the reverse.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, all right. So coincidence, Daniel, God. Okay.
They keep bringing up God, so that's the only reason why. But we're good to go on this one. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mikey.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Mike.
We're 732 Review Crew. If you do enjoy the content, check out the Patreon, which has full lengths for this, as well as other series. And make sure you do tune in as we approach the finale. We're going to have a poll being out soon to replace this show.
Crazy.
So make sure you do vote on that. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.